Just briefly, I'd like to talk about two other types of alternative assessments that I use that could be related to what we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes in creating art with Chrome Canvas and Sketchpad and Vectory. Those are the three we're going to focus on today. The first alternative assessment that I like to use is um, the choose your own story, and you all are probably familiar with this, where students can go through. And I use this as a method of assessment for students to kind of make sure they understand how line works, what is line, shape, color, texture, most of our basic elements or principles. I assess my elementary school kids and middle school kids through some type of assessment like this, where they can choose their own. If they get the correct answer incorrect, it sends them back to a reteach and allows them to engage. And so, one of the ways you can think about is how students could create their own choose your story, where they demonstrate their concepts based on do they know what the right answer is and how can they set other people up to create their own answers. But then they can also create their own images to bring into this choose your story. So thinking about how they can personalize and make you really easily you could provide students with a template for the choose your story, where they have maybe 10 concepts that they're going to demonstrate on 10 pages, and they control maybe those 10 pages. And in doing so, you can have them add a lot of interactive, things that they've created, maybe in the 3D world, in the world of the Vectory. We're going to talk about that a little bit, or maybe bring in images and designs they've created in Chrome Canvas, or even bring in some cool engaging text that they may have created in Sketchpad. Okay. The other type of assessment that I use that I consider sort of an alternative method of assessment is Scratch. I have students who develop games in Scratch, and you do too. One thing you might think about is finding who those students are. If you teach middle school, I guarantee you've got a master coder for Scratch. Don't discount elementary school. We got Scratch Junior. They can code a lot of fun stuff in it as well. But one way you might have a student demonstrate a concept is create an assessment that shows they understand a concept. And with this one, the student created this assessment for me, and the I have elementary school students who take this assessment. They go through this little story that was created. If they get the answer incorrect, again, it takes them to a reteach. It takes them through portals. It's very interactive. There's a lot of cool movement, and it's fun. The students really enjoy taking a test. How often do they enjoy taking a test? And so it doesn't have to be as complicated as creating a full length assessment. You might create a Scratch interactive game that lets them just shoot the incorrect answers out of the way, and that sort of thing. So Scratch is an easy thing to work in, and again, I don't want to step on anyone else's professional developments, but you might think about ways that you can code in these. And again, because Scratch allows you to import your own content, your own assets, you can have students develop their own images, their own backgrounds. The entire game can be the look and feel that they create on their own using the programs that we're going to look at here in just a moment. Okay, all right, let's get started.